Over the last couple of months, the design has evolved a lot more. We have now moved from stage 2, which was concept design, onto stage 3, which is spatial coordination. We've been looking at how all the different spaces come together. Now, as time has gone on, we have learned more and more about the building, which has allowed us to plan out the spaces even better than we had done before. And as time has gone on, we've had some new ideas that we wanted to implement, so inevitably the design has evolved and we're quite happy with where it is at the moment. Within the last couple of months, we've also finalized the concept stage and we're ready now, we believe, to move on to stage 4, which is detailed design. Now, this has involved several workshops. We have spent hours and hours and hours with the architectural team. Sometimes we've met on a weekly basis, sometimes we've met twice a week to be able to coordinate everything and get to an area where we're all quite happy.
So this is like all your heating, cooling, air changes, so the space is compliant. I'll just give you the way that we're thinking about it at the moment. So basically, we're trying to locate most of the heavy stuff in like above the ceilings of the surgery and the changing blocks.
We met this lovely lady called Praveen who works for one of the wellness companies that we are buying some equipment from. She offered her help in order for us to just design the workflow of the wellness area, and her advice was invaluable, and on the back of it we've made quite a few changes to the wellness area. Previously we had changing facilities and shower facilities within each treatment room, but she highlighted that if we do that then people will spend longer than actually required in those rooms, and we've decided to create separate wellness changing rooms away from the treatment rooms. We've also been spending time designing the dental surgeries. Now, we want the dental surgeries to have quite a minimalistic look and feel. We are not planning on putting any high-level cabinetry, only low-level cabinetry. And the architect has an amazing idea of making the walls curved. So when you walk into these surgeries, they're going to look quite minimalistic but beautifully aesthetic. Another idea that we had was to have decon running behind the surgeries so that the nursing staff never had to bring any dental instruments into the front of house patient areas, so that all the surgeries have a door leading to our decon space. All of these surgeries are going to be used for teaching purposes, so we've built quite a lot of AV infrastructure into them, especially in surgery 1, which is the largest surgery. We've had a lot of input from the nurses and the dentists who are also going to be working in these surgeries, and together we've all put our ideas on the table so that we can produce surgeries that we're all going to be happy to work in, and surgeries that are going to be comfortable for the patients to have treatment in. We have also had our first fire safety review back. This is done by the fire safety consultant who assesses the design as it progresses and provides advice on any changes that may be required. The lease negotiations are as tense as ever, and I'm bombarded every day by lawyers and agents trying to get this deal over the line. Remember I mentioned there was water ingress into the building. That water was ingressing all the way down to the basement. So we've been going back and forth with the landlord trying to come up with a solution. Now, we have provided our own solution to the landlord and the landlord has provided their solution. Our solution is much better and will last a lot longer than their solution. But thankfully we have come to an agreement and they will pay for the solution that we have provided, which basically involves tanking the basement in the areas where water is ingressing. Last week we were hours away from actually finally exchanging contracts, but then I had a phone call from the agent saying that apparently there's a dispute between the landlord and another tenant in the building, and that's preventing us from exchanging. I've also noticed an error on the service charge which needs to be resolved before we can exchange contracts. The lease negotiations have been so stressful that I'm surprised I haven't ended up with grey hair. Apparently this dispute has been going on for months, which doesn't make sense to us because the landlord has been pushing us and pushing us and pushing us through the solicitors to try to exchange as quickly as we can, very well knowing that they had this dispute going on which wouldn't allow us to exchange anyway. So we don't know what's going to happen with this, time will tell. Hopefully it's not going to delay us any more than we've already been delayed, but we can't exchange until this dispute is sorted.